SoloMoms Talk was designed to curate the stories of solo moms globally. As a facilitator of this platform, I aim to create a peaceful environment where you can share your heart, feel loved, and get the advice you need. So if this sounds like you, why not RSVP for our next virtual meetup? The link is below. It's where you can retreat from the chaos of your life so you can recharge, connect with other moms, and get answers to your burning questions. Remember, you're not alone and you don't have to parent in silence.
My guest today is Lindsay Davis, author of You Can Eat Love. Did I have that right?
You can't eat love.
You can't eat love. Oh, did I butcher that? Thank you for coming and talking to me today, Leslie. I appreciate you.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Jen. I'm so excited to get to talk to you. And it's about one of my favorite subjects, moms and kids.
Ah, yeah, mine too. Okay. All right. So before we talk about your book and other things in general, let's talk about Leslie. Who's Leslie?
Oh, my gosh. Well, Leslie is a mom of 3 amazing young men, and they are all still alive. I will attest to this. They are all still alive. The oldest one turns 38 this year, and the youngest one is 26. And like I said, they're all still alive. Did I make some mistakes along the way? Oh, heavens to Betsy, yes. I could tell you a lot of stories. I'm also a wife, and I run doggy daycare for my dog and my youngest son and his wife. They're 2 dogs, so I have doggy daycare at my house every day. My philosophy in life is, why not? My goal and objective is not to be 80 years old sitting in my rocking chair on my front porch saying, I wish I would have.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And why you can't eat love? Why can't I?
Well, it came from a realization that I thought that I was missing some things inside of myself. And what I came to discover is that food was my drug of choice. I was using food to numb the pain, to hide, to, not even face or address the pain, just to drown out my emotions. And like I said, I thought that I was missing something. I thought that I didn't have the love of my parents, people outside of my world. And what I came to understand is the only love that I was missing was love for myself. And what I had was a myself-sized hole in my heart that I'd been trying to fill with food. And once I went on the journey to learn to love myself, I came to the understanding you can't eat love.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I see that now. Oh, right. Wow. So you went on a journey. I see that word a lot in your bio. And tell us about that journey as much as you can. And also include the struggles you had during that journey.
Well, the journey actually began like so many people, I hit but like so many other people, I hit a rock bottom or what was, close to a bottom. And I realized that I could go one of 2 ways. One was either continue in the direction that I was going, which wasn't working out very well, or I could start making some changes. And I decided that I wanted to be the very best me that I possibly could be. So I wanted to be healthy mentally, physically, and emotionally. And at that time, I came to realize that I was carrying about 100 extra pounds. So part of the physical journey was learning what to eat, how to eat, how much of stuff to eat.
Oh no, it's Monday. Does Monday morning fill you with dread? Feel better about Mondays and empower your mind for the week. Join SoloMoms Talk along with Helena Smolak for Inspiration and Motivation Plug-in. A short time of inspiration to rejuvenate your mind and get you ready for the week ahead. We will begin with stretching, breath work, and activating our mindset. So join us by clicking the link below. This is part of a webinar which is now being recognized as a continued education credit for fitness and personal trainers by the Canadian Fitness Education Services. This is a commitment to your athleticism, fitness, health, nutrition, wellness, and will add years to your life, says Helena. So join us by clicking the link below now.
And just learning the things that I should have learned as a child, portion control and just control with food. But the hard part was the mental and emotional part of it. And, I know that your audience is mothers. And if I could say to your audience, so many times when we're trying to raise these creatures that do not come with an operating manual, we can lose ourselves in so much doubt and negativity that we lose sight of what our objective is, which is to help them become the very best people, adults that they can possibly be. Did I lose myself while I was raising my children? Yes, I did, because I made it up as I went along. I had no clue what I was doing. And so as a consequence, I came up with some pretty crazy ideas. But all of this spilled, into my life, my beliefs, and all that kind of stuff, and the self-talk that I had. And if I can also say to your audience, know this: you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You have everything that you need inside of you, and you are enough.
Yes, thank you very much for that. Yeah, self-love has come up quite a bit. We're approaching Valentine's, when it can be the best part of our year, or it could be the worst,
Right?
Depending on what's going on up here, right?
Well, and especially, if you're talking about moms who are trying to raise children on their own, so
Yes.
many times we're pouring out, and we're so busy pouring out. And I talk about this I think I talk about this in the book. It may be another story, but I realized that I was spitting into the jar because the jar was so empty. I was spitting into it to the point that I had no spit left to spit into it. And yet I continued to pour out. But I found that, and I'm sure you can probably resonate with this. I found that even though I had nothing left to give, I had no clue how to ask.
Okay. Yeah. I see that, and I hear that. Oh, wow. I usually ask this much later on, but what is Leslie grateful for today?
Today, I'm grateful for, well, let me just, not be so lofty, but today I'm grateful for a nice warm house. I'm grateful that, the grocery store had Fritos in it, because we're suffering a Frito crisis. And I'm grateful to get to talk to you. Truthfully, I'm very grateful to get to talk to you, because I get to tell you, thank you so much for what you are doing for the people out there who are struggling, and they think that they're doing it by themselves. So I'm so grateful that you're letting them know they're not alone.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. And what was the biggest aha moment you had on your journey? I think you mentioned one thing, but anything else you want to share?
The biggest aha moment was realizing that my very best friend in the whole wide world was myself, and developing a relationship with my very best friend in the whole wide world. Now that sounds kind of crazy, but when we spend so much of our time giving and putting children and everybody else, ahead of ourselves, we lose relationship with our very best friend in the whole wide world, which is ourself. And so many times when we're in the midst of all that struggle, we need to be heard. We need someone to listen to us. We need someone to validate us. We have so many needs. And yet, let's be honest. I don't care how good of a friend people are. I don't care how amazing of a sister you may have. I don't care how incredible of a mother you might or might not have. It doesn't matter. Those people don't want to listen to you, really and truly listen to you and hear you for hours on end.
Yeah.
But the biggest discovery that I made was my very best friend in the whole wide world doesn't care how long I go on about how annoyed I was about something. She never, ever, ever tries to solve my problem. She just listens to me.
Yes. And I laugh because, I live alone now. My sons are grown. And a lot of times I actually laugh at myself because I actually talk to myself.
Sometimes it's the best conversation in the room.
Yeah, And I laugh because I'm like, here I am talking to myself. And sometimes I answer, and they're in the past I would have said, "Oh my, I need to stop talking to myself." Now I actually deliberately do it. And no, you're not crazy for talking to yourself. And the other thing I think, and I would like you to talk about it if you want, is that a lot of times when we're tired and weary and overwhelmed, we don't tend to want to withdraw and be alone and spend time with us. We want to be in other people's space who just move us further into exhaustion, truth be told. So can you address that?
Well, and yeah, as you said, oftentimes when we're tired or we're overwhelmed, we think that being around other people is going to help us feel, energized, excited, and all that. And truthfully, all it does is it just continues to drain us. Mm-hmm. So what I started doing several years ago, and this was part of the journey, is I get up a little bit earlier in the morning. Why? So that I can have quiet time by myself before the day gets started. And during that time, I read some affirmations, I read, some passages in the Bible. But the most important work that I do is I have a notebook and I write 3 pages of conversation with myself each morning. Now, some days I may not write a full 3 pages. Some days I may spill over to a 4th page, but typically it's around 3 pages of conversation with myself. Now, I don't tax myself in having, a full 8.5 by 11 notebook. No, my notebooks are like, 6 by 9, 5 by 8. Let's be realistic. And I'm not journaling. Do not tell me I'm journaling. All I'm doing is writing in a notebook. And the reason I say don't tell me I'm journaling is because I swore I would never be one of those people who journaled. Instead, I just have a whole lot of notebooks with words in them. But, when you are a single mother with children, finding time to have a sensible conversation with yourself is very hard to find. So that's why one of the reasons why I started getting up early, so that I could take care of me before I started taking care of everybody else. Now, when I started it, my children were, gone and in college and out of the house and all that kind of stuff. But I still had my husband, I still had the dogs, I still had a job, I still had responsibilities. So it was still important that I get up that little bit early. You can say, well, that's going to make me feel tired, that's going to make me whatever. Truthfully, you will feel so energized. The hamsters that run around in your head will be sent back to the pet market. And I'm on a mission to fire all the hamsters and send them back to the pet market and put the pet market out of business. But you'll be able to tackle your day so much better because you've taken care of yourself before you took care of anybody else.
Yeah, that's true that. Yeah. Tell me about your weight loss journey. It's one of the things that plague us because we don't pay enough attention to, to us. And I realized that we hear a lot about it. I was 100 pounds and I lost that. But tell us a little bit more. Share that part of you with us if you can.
Well, I realized that I knew it, but when I made the decision to get healthy mentally, physically, and emotionally, that was when I had to face the reality of what my weight was. And I was about 100 pounds more than I wanted to be, desired to be, or even that I am right now. So I started paying attention to what it was that I was eating, how much of it I was eating. But truthfully, honestly, the transformation came when I started taking care of the emotions and dealing with the emotions and addressing the emotions and being honest with them. And so many people said to me, you shouldn't feel this way, or I would say so-and-so made me feel whatever. And what the 2 things that I came to understand is, first, no one can make you anything except reservations for dinner. Okay. So if we are feeling, angry, mad, happy, whatever, nobody made us. We chose to feel that. Exactly. No one can make you anything except reservations for dinner. The other thing was, being honest with what I was feeling, Because how many times do we say to ourselves or say to somebody else, especially children, you shouldn't feel that way? Well, no, you don't get a vote in how I feel. I'm sorry, you get no vote in how I feel. How I feel is how I feel.
Yes, thank you. So your thinking is that, and it's true, I agree, that the emotion may play a bigger role in how we eat and therefore gain weight.
Well, for me, food was my drug of choice.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's true. I remember that. I used to bake a cake when I ate the cake. When I got stressed. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay.
Well, you know, we're searching for something. We're searching for something to stop the pain. We're searching for something, you know, to ease the tension. And for me, food was my drug of choice. I mean, I'll be very honest. That was what I went to. And then this was my giant aha moment about it. Because when I would eat, you know, the entire bag of chips and the whole container of onion dip, and they had to be barbecue Ruffles chips and onion dip. Anyway, after I would finish, then the shame would set in. I knew how to do shame really, really well because, you know, I'd grown up being told you should be ashamed. You should feel ashamed. You should, you know, so I knew how to do shame really well, but I did not know how to do sad. I did not know how to do angry. I didn't even know how to do happy.
Wow. Yeah. So how can we get in touch with you?
The best way to reach me is on my website, which is www.youcan'teatlove.com. And there's all different ways to contact me. There's information about my book. There's information about me. And if you reach out to me, I will answer you. I am a real person and I will respond.
Okay, cool. I'll put the link in the show notes so people can get access to you. And thank you for sharing your life with us, Leslie. I want you to give me one piece of advice for a solo mom.
My biggest piece of advice, well, actually, let me give you two things.
Okay.
One, I said this to my oldest son when he was 2.5 years old. He turned around and looked at me one day. I had told him to do something, and he looked at me and he said, "You're so mean, Mom." And I looked at him and I said, "Do you know what MOM stands for?" And he said, "No." And I said, "MOM stands for mean old mother. And every day I think of 3 mean things to do to you, and that was one." So I've never had a problem with my children telling me that I was mean. They knew that I was, and that every day I thought of 3 mean things to do to each one of them. Having 3 children, that's 9 things. Okay. The second thing that I would say is on those days when you're struggling, when it's a really hard day and you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get through this. Remember 2 things. Try to find a word besides no. And secondly, tomorrow they will be another day older. And I lied. I got 3 things. The third thing is there is a difference between liking and loving. You can not like your children, and that is okay, but you will always love them. Yeah. And if you say to them, "Today I'm not liking you very much, but I will always love you," then they will grow up understanding there is a difference. And that's so important. That's so important that they know that no matter what, you will love them.
Always. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Leslie. Lindsay Davis, for coming and talking to us today. Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you so much for having me. And I hope to hear from your readers, from your listeners.
Yes, for sure. You gave me a good laugh today. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're most welcome.
I bet it's a riot in your household.
Now it is.
Thank you.
I'm excited to share that SoloMoms Talk is now on YouTube. Check out these interviews on our new channel, SoloMoms Talk TV. There you will actually see the interaction between myself and my guests. You will also find bite-sized clips of daily inspiration to help you manage the struggles of everyday life. So click SoloMoms Talk TV below to watch now.
Hello, SoloMoms. Do you want an easy and proven way to experience better mood and less anxiety? Even if you think you're too busy with work and family responsibilities, you owe it to yourself to take care of your mental health. Join my easy 5-day gratitude journaling challenge.
Studies show that writing down what you're grateful for increase positivity, improve your mood, and help you sleep better. Sleep better? Better sleep? Oh my goodness. But that's only the beginning. Give yourself the gift of better mental health. Learn how you can incorporate gratitude journaling into your life without added stress or overwhelm. Click the link below to sign up for this challenge now and get a free 100-page gratitude journal printable just for signing up. Join the challenge today because your mental health is too important to ignore.